Congratulations! By clicking on this video, you have taken the first step to becoming the best version of yourself. We all know that procrastination costs us the life that we want, yet we still do it. But that stops today, because I'm going to be sharing with you 8 practical tips that'll help you stay productive and build the life you want. So let's get into it. First, we got to identify what productivity is not. When you search up being productive, you'll find all these routines of the perfect it girl morning routine, the that girl morning routine, filled with yoga and green smoothies. And although that does work for some, real productivity comes from creating realistic habits that you can follow on a consistent basis. And this is not a one event type of thing. It's just like a hobby or a sport. You have to practice it. You have to practice being productive. So first, we have to start by waking up early. And I know that gets us a lot of the times. It doesn't come easy for all. I used to not like being a morning person at all, but that's because my perspective was wrong. I was looking at it as, I have to get up early because I need to do homework. I have to do this work. I have to answer these emails. And I realized I was approaching it all wrong. The key to waking up early is starting your morning with something that excites you. To actually get up out of bed, you have to start your day with something that's going to make you want to get out of bed. When I decided I wanted to start waking up early, what I did was I pretended as if I was the main character in my own movie. And I'm not playing. I would wake up playing my favorite songs. I would dance and just do things that I enjoy. Many people want to maximize their rest. They have to be at this location by a certain time, so they decide to wake up 20 minutes before. Now you're getting ready, you're rushed, and you're just starting the day off on the wrong foot. Instead, when you wake up with a sense of purpose, knowing that you have something to look forward to, it's just going to set your day off to a good start. And then when you wake up early and do the things you want to do, the other things like studying and working, it's not as bad because you already had your fun. It shifts your mindset from obligation to this is an opportunity to grow. Now that we have our morning together, what do we need to do throughout the day to remain productive? A lot of us have done this, including myself. We make these long, detailed to-do lists with highlights, different colors of all these different tasks we need to complete, and then we only end up doing about 5 of them, if that. Why? This is because we weren't specific enough with what we needed to do and when we needed to do it. To prevent this from happening, you need to block out your day. For example, say you have a quiz coming up. Instead of saying, oh, I'm just going to study all day, let's get into the real detail. Set out a certain time. From 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., I'm going to focus on studying for this quiz. This gives you a clear goal, a set time frame, and helps keep you accountable without worrying about an all-day marathon. Now, it can be very easy to get distracted. So if you're the type of person where a notification pops on your phone and you just have to check it, try putting your phone in a different room. Cut out all your distractions. But maybe working for 3 hours straight is just not for you. That's okay. One method that really helps me out is the 25 rule. Well, that's what I call it, but this is the actual name. You set a timer for 25 minutes and work for 25 minutes. That's it. And then you take a 5-minute break where you can take a little nap, go outside, chill, whatever you want to do. To me, it's a little bit easier than powering through 3 hours of straight studying. And once you keep repeating this process, it just helps you to stay productive without feeling burnt out. Another reason why it's hard for us to be productive is because we just can't start. A lot of the times, the task is not even that hard. The hardest part is starting. We all get that feeling where we're just like, I do not want to do this right now. I'm not in the mood. I don't feel like it. But here's the thing. Once you start moving, you realize it's actually not that bad. To help with starting, you can use the same rule I use, which is the 2-minute rule. This rule basically consists of doing any task that'll only take you 2 minutes or less. This can be folding your clothes, responding to an email, reading a page from a book. Just do it right then and go ahead and get it over with. And now you can check it off your to-do list and you're already starting to feel more productive. And then for bigger tasks, what you can do is still apply this rule. Say you want to get to walking on the treadmill, but you just really don't feel like getting on the treadmill. What you can do is set a timer for 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. Get on the treadmill and start walking for 2 minutes. The thing is, once that 2 minutes is up, you're going to be in the zone and have this momentum to keep going simply because you stopped overthinking the task. And now you started on the treadmill for 2 minutes and you look up and 30 minutes has passed simply because you just started. All right, but some of you might be like, but what if I really did wait to the last minute and I actually do need to lock in for a good 12 hours in order to get a task done? It's okay. It's happened to the best of us. It has. If you need to spend a long time working on something, the way to actually get it done is by changing your scenery. Do you really think you're going to finish that project by sitting in your bed and working on it all day? If you can, but for the rest of us, that approach, it's not going to cut it. What you can do is break it down. From 9 a.m. to 12 a.m., I'm going to start working at my desk. Then from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., I'm going to go to a local cafe. Then from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., I'm going to head to the library. Working in different places helps you not become bored so easily. You're refreshing your brain so that productivity keeps flowing. This is a big one. Motivation versus discipline. Motivation comes, but it also goes. Discipline is what's going to keep you on track. Now, motivation is amazing. I love me some motivation. I have a Pinterest vision board where it has all the things that I either have accomplished or want to accomplish. And if I'm not feeling motivated and just not in the mood to get stuff done, I can look at it and it reminds me why I'm working towards my goals. But other days, when I'm not feeling motivated, I scroll on that little same Pinterest vision board and I'm like, okay, this is just pictures. And that's when discipline comes into play. In order to remain productive, you have to do the things you need to do, regardless of how you feel. So, let me say that again for y'all. In order to remain productive, you have to do the things you need to do, regardless of how you feel. All right? Now, if you get that, oh, you good. But that's a lot easier said than done. What can help you achieve this, though, is your perspective. It's all about the way you see things and the way you look at them. You can either focus on the things you want right now, such as taking a nap, skipping the gym, eating a whole bag of candy, or you can focus on the things you really want in the long run, such as being confident, being successful, and becoming the best version of yourself. And then it's up to you to choose. You have a choice. You have to ask yourself, am I going to make decisions today that will make tomorrow and the day after that harder? Or am I going to make decisions today that will make tomorrow easier and propel me towards becoming the best version of myself? It's all about the small wins and little daily decisions. It's about saying yes to the things that are good for you and no to the things that are not. Now let's get to another key root of procrastination. What's another reason why we really do it? When you find yourself procrastinating on a task, I want you to ask yourself, why? Is it because you're afraid of failing? Procrastination often happens when we are afraid of failing or uncertain of the outcome. Sometimes this fear comes from past experiences, but it's important to understand that failure is not the end. It's just a part of the journey. But just because you stumble one time doesn't mean you can't get back up and keep going, because you definitely can. And I know you will. I have experienced this firsthand when I took the SAT. The SAT is an exam for juniors and seniors in high school that determines a lot. It can determine what colleges you get into and what scholarships you receive for college. When I first took the SAT, I was not happy with my score. I didn't do horrible, but I knew I definitely could have did a lot better. And this discouraged me from even wanting to take it again. But instead of staying stuck in this negative loop, that was kind of a tongue twister. I asked myself, why do you really not want to take this test over again? And I realized it was because I was scared I might get the same score. So I started to dig deeper into why I actually performed the way I did. And I found out two things. First, I didn't even study for the test before I took it. And then two, I wasn't realizing that I was a beginner at this. We're so used to getting things fast and quick that we often forget what it's like to be a beginner and that it's okay to start somewhere and grow over time. We just want to be able to jump into it and do it well. But when you really think about it, no one starts out speaking perfectly or writing your name flawlessly. When you were first learning to read, most of us did not just wake up, pick up a chapter book, and automatically know how to do it and get it perfectly on the first try. No, we were doing vocabulary words. We were doing spelling words. We were sounding out words. We were practicing with sentences. We were having other people read to us. It was a process. And that's okay. It's okay to join the process. It's okay to have a process because it builds character. So I decided to switch my approach. I actually studied for the test. I took practice tests. I researched what was on the test, how many questions there were, tips and tricks on how I can improve my score. So that way when I walked into the testing room, I was prepared and more confident. And guess what? It worked. I actually did significantly improve my score. The only way to overcome this type of procrastination is getting to the root of your fear and facing it head on. We talked about the morning routine. We talked about what you need to be doing throughout your day. Now let's talk about the night routine that is going to set you up for success tomorrow. You need to be planning tomorrow the night before. Before I go to bed, I write down 3 things that I know I need to get done tomorrow. This simple habit eliminates thinking in the morning. Thinking can slow you down. By doing this, you're setting yourself up to be productive the moment you wake up. Also, have a planner, a journal, or a whiteboard. When you write out your tasks, it honestly holds you accountable and it keeps you from forgetting what you need to do because it's right in front of you. Just think about it. At night, you're writing down 3 things that you need to do. So you wake up the next morning knowing you have to do these 3 things. And you also know that tonight you're going to have to write down 3 more things that you have to do. So throughout the day, you're thinking, either I do these tasks or when I go to my journal tonight, I'm just going to have to write down the same 3 things. It just reminds you, okay, I'm going to have to go back to this journal. So let me go ahead and do this stuff so I can write down 3 other things. And once you check those things off the list, it keeps you feeling productive. Also, to help this flow a little bit better, group tasks that are alike in the same category. For example, if you have assignments for math, science, and English, put that in one category, homework/study category. But if you have to do chores, you need to do the laundry and make up your bed and also do the dishes, put those in another little section. If you want to be ambitious and write more than 3 things, then we got to take it back. You got to block out time for you to do these things. And then you can avoid mental exhaustion because you're not switching back and forth between a whole bunch of different type of tasks. Now, here's the other part of the night routine. Rest and recharge. Being productive is not about working 20 hours a day and only getting 4 hours of sleep. To maintain being productive, you must rest. I know we all want to lock in, which is great, but it's okay to take a little nap during your lock-in. It's about creating a suitable lifestyle that works for you. This is not a little quick sprint. Now, I know this was a lot, and sometimes we just want to jump in with 15 new habits we're going to start at the beginning of the week and have this whole transformation in 10 days. Well, focus on improving just 1% every day. Now you may be thinking, 1%, what is that going to do? Just think about if for a whole month you focused on getting 1% worse. You would be 30% worse than in the beginning of the month. Just how that can make a big difference in your life, so can getting 1% better every day. If you just focus on mastering this 1%, you'll be 30% better by the end of the month. And then do that for another month and another month, and you're at 90%. And guess what? All you got is 10 more days left. Boom, 100%. Who don't want to get to 100%? So remember, being productive is about creating small, suitable changes. It's not about being perfect. It's about obtaining habits that'll help you become the best version of yourself. Take it one step at a time and just focus on one thing at a time. All right? I believe in you. You got this. I hope you found these tips helpful. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell for more life hacks and productivity tips. And make sure you leave a comment to let me know which tip you're going to try first. Thank you for tuning in. It's your girl Lauren, and I will see you in the next video. Peace. You better on the first date. I should have said what's wrong in the first place. I don't, 'cause you always taking it